In today's video, I'm going to go over the 6 things I wish I knew when I started SMMS when running my SMMS, and the 5 things I've actually learned from sending over 1 million SMS for my social media marketing agency. So let's get into it. So you guys want to have a high open rate, obviously. You want to do SMS because you're going to have over 90% open rates on an SMS, right? Think if you get an email in your inbox, like, do you really check your email that much? Probably not. But if you get a text message on your phone randomly, no, you're going to see that shit right away. Now, this means instant visibility, right? Obviously, it doesn't mean replies. So when you send this text message, you don't want to make it look like some Indian scam. The reason why most people fail with cold SMS is because they send out a text message that isn't even going to hook your actual prospect. Don't be generic. Don't get it flagged, right? Don't be spammy or anything like that, because obviously it's going to get flagged and then, your SMS isn't going to work. So you guys need to personalize it, right? The reason you're not getting reply rates is because you don't personalize it. That means, you should probably put their name in the SMS text, because, if it says, hey, John, instead of, hey, there's going to be a lot more replies, right? Because you're saying their actual name. Now, you guys don't want to either pitch too soon either, right? You want to start an actual conversation, right? Get to know these people, because if you just pitch right out the gate, they're going to be like, oh, fuck this guy, and hang up the phone, right? After you call them, after they send their text message, after you send them a text message, right? So you want to make sure you call them up, asking questions, see what their actual business is like and how they're doing. And therefore, then you pitch them and get them to get on a Google Meet call with you, where you can actually sell that guy onto an offer. So now I'm going to go over the numbers behind sending 1 million SMS messages. So your response rate is probably going to be anywhere between 5 to 10%, right? So that means you're going to get roughly 50,000 replies, 50,000. Now, calls booked from those 50,000 replies, you're probably going to get anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 actual booked calls. So I'd say between 10 to 20% you will actually book in. Now, your show-up rate is actually going to play a big part in this, right? So let's just be, conservative here. Let's say your show-up rate is 50%. So that means 2,000, 5,000 people will actually show up to the calls. And then, off of those calls, right? Let's say your conversion rate, let's be conservative too, let's just say 20%. Anywhere between 500 to 1,000 people will sign on with you, right? And then if you do your lowest package, let's say it's $3K for 3 months, and you sign 500 to 1,000 people on $3K a month, where you're making anywhere between 1.5 million to 3 million. Now, obviously, you're not going to send out 1 million SMS, right? There's not enough prospects out there, if you're in the roofing niche or whatever niche it is, to send out 1 million. Maybe real estate, maybe, but you're not going to have that much prospects. But let's say you have 250,000 roofers in the US, right? You're going to still make a ton of money collectively, but just, signing clients off of 3K retainers. And one of the biggest mistakes that actually cost me thousands upon thousands of dollars was not tracking your messages, right? When you send these messages, they have carrier fees and whatnot. And if one, message template works better than the other, you obviously want to use that one. Or if one message has more segments in it and then the other one doesn't, well, you want to use the one with less segments, because you're going to, spend obviously less money, right? And over time, it's really not that much. It's just a few cents per message, but over time, it actually will rack up quite a bit. So that's why you guys want to make sure your message hits the point, hooks the person, gets them to respond, gets them to book in, but, obviously making sure it's a short message, not a very, very long text message. And plus, people are going to want a 1-page essay on text message, right? They want a simple text that gets them straight to the point. So you guys want to test different scripts very, very early. That way you're not doing this way down the line. Find the best one and then just run it for months and months on end until, it gives out. If it gives out, obviously try to improve the script and make a new one. But actually use the same script for months on end and it's working amazing still. So once you guys find that winning script, you can usually use it for a while. If anything, you just increase the volume, obviously, to increase the number of replies and then the actual bookings. So you guys don't want to just use one text and be done. You want to send a follow-up. So what I usually do is 2 hours after that first initial text message, I'll send a follow-up 2 hours and 6 minutes later saying hey, did you see my last text? Right? It works very, very well. It'll actually get double the replies if you do that. Don't wait a day, because most of these guys, they they forget about the text, or or they delete the text, or they report it as spam. That's why I do it within a 2-hour time frame, just because it's a lot more efficient. You're going to get a lot more replies and a lot more bookings. So now you guys really got to be smart about sending out SMS, because you can get banned if you do send out SMS the wrong way. You want to avoid, going to the spam box, right? So if you guys use different numbers, keep using new ones, then obviously this is going to stop it from happening, because if you send out 10,000 SMS on one number, it's just going to seem a little bit weird and it's probably going to go to spam. your message won't deliver, your sub account on high level is going to get restriction. So that's why you want to make sure you just keep using new numbers and whatnot to keep it fresh. You guys also want to warm up your numbers to keep everything, you know, steady, just because obviously if you send out 1,000 SMS in one day on your number that you just buy, it's going to look a bit weird. So maybe send out like half or 250 and then obviously scale up from there. And you guys also want to automate this the right way. You don't want to be sending out messages with no segments, because this is a very, very quick way to like kill your results. So yeah, that's basically it. That's everything you need to know about actually scaling cold SMS and SMMA in 2025. I still do it and it works very, very well. I'm making 40 to 50K a month just for my agency alone. So if you guys want to learn the exact cold SMS system that actually helped me scale to 40 to 50K a month in my agency, then click the video below on the screen right now. So yeah, if you guys learned something from this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, that's basically it. I'll see you guys in the next one.